might be controversial, but I obviously don't care. I always tell my potential partners, if I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one. I don't care. I don't care. I might as well be one of those people that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering in some way. And I just don't want to be a part of that. This might be controversial, but I obviously don't care. I always tell my potential partners, if I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one. I don't care. I don't care. I might as well be one of those people that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering in some way. And I just don't want to be a part of that. This might be controversial, but
This is funny, but then again, it's not. You need to go heal. Go do something. The fact that you don't want to give birth to a boy is blowing my mind. Oh, I don't want to raise a potential abuser. Like it's just in a man's nature to be abusive. It's all about who raised them. If you're not a bad person, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. If the person you have kids with isn't a bad person, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. But yet, you are still right here, damaged. You need just go get some therapy. This is funny, but then again, it's not. You need to go heal. Go do something.
You know how chronically online you have to be to have a take like this? People that literally walk past, drive past, and interact with hundreds of men on a daily will jump through enormous hoops to try to turn all men into some dangerous monolith. By your framework, you believe that a man's life is not worth the salt on the ground because of potentiality. What's next? You might as well say that we should get rid of all the boys and the men that are already here. You know what I mean? Because it's never too late to keep those animals from walking around. Imagine using the crime statistics to make the same exact argument for something like race. You literally have to completely ignore the majority of men, including the innovators, the role models, the protectors, the providers, the heroes, the fathers, the sons, and the innocents in order to rationalize these kinds of takes. People like this will continue to push the gender war, and then when you call them out on it, they'll say, well, I didn't make myself this way. Do you know how chronically online you have to be to have a... Then they'll blame men and capitalism somehow, as if they don't have agency over their own actions. You have to go outside. Stop attempting to rationalize generalized hate, especially if you don't keep that same energy outside, especially if you don't keep that same energy to these people's faces, and especially if you don't keep that same energy with literally any other group. And they'll blame men and capitalism.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I'm Taziar Gabar from Prophets in Babylon, Waco, Texas. Under the branch of the Prophets in Babylon, Tampa Bay, Florida camp. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace, salutations down to the hopeful elect. These wicked women strike again. So, briefly, doing the class on this Instagram post that I seen. This woman, she look like she a Judite. She wants all little boys dead. But let's get the scriptures on this. Let's start with Job. Job 39:17. And the Bible tells us all about these women, you know, the wicked woman, all right? This is Job 39:17. Because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. So she goes and say how she wouldn't want to birth a boy. If she was pregnant, she wouldn't want to birth a boy because they would potentially grow up to be woman abusers, which, like the brother said in the clip, the guy that you choose to procreate with, if he's a good guy, then obviously he's gonna raise that young boy to be a good male, a good man when he grow up. But we know that these women, or should I say these wicked women, starting with Judah on down, this woman right here, she looks like she's most likely Judah, Southern Kingdom. We know what type of man that these Southern Kingdom women, which we call Eve, the brothers in the Mississippi camp call them Keisha. We know the types of men that these women desire, and it's degenerates and delinquents, okay? So of course, if you procreating with those type of guys, then they ain't gonna teach that young boy to grow up with any type of moral standards, integrity about himself. But that goes to show you that these women do not have what it says right here in verse 17, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right? Without a man, who's gonna do all the dirty work in the work business, Come to your rescue when you need help, the men in this world. Really, I'm gonna speak on the Israelite man, which I'm not gonna make this video long. The Israelite man, the work business, they do all the jobs, and while the women sit up in the office in the cool AC, without those men, who's gonna do all that work, and ultimately, the so-called black woman come from a man. You come from a male loins. So if you kill, like you said, you wouldn't want a boy or whatever. Which I'm gonna get Exodus, the first chapter, because that's initially, originally, this video reminded me of the book of Exodus, the first chapter, with the Pharaoh and the Hebrew woman. Because the Pharaoh ordered the Hebrew woman, if they have a boy, that they'll kill the boys. All right, which I'll get into that. But going forth to show you that these women have no wisdom, ultimately, the Israelite woman in general, they come from an Israelite man loins, boy and girl. So if you were to not have any boys, then you basically taken away from yourself. All right? Like, if all the Israelite boys were to be killed at birth, the whole nation will ultimately go extinct, which I'll get that in Exodus. Let's get it. Exodus 1. It's like it. Exodus 1 and starting with 13. So this is Israel during the Egyptian captivity. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor. All right, so hardcore slavery. And they made their lives bitter and hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. All right. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew wives, the midwives, all right. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. And why was this? Because um, they understood that the male, all right, the seed come from the male, the man. So if you kill the sons off at birth and keep all the daughters, they would procreate with the daughters and bring forth their own nation. You know? So, and that's why Esau Edom, who is the modern day Pharaoh, that's why this man has he heavy promoted Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics. And who's first in line to abort their children? The so-called black woman. And that goes back to the curses of Deuteronomy. You know, they got that evil eye toward their children. And this woman can't be no more than freaking 21. She probably less than that. And she's saying she don't want boys. She don't want no boys. So most likely, if she find out it's a boy, she'll probably abort it. You know? I don't know how many weeks they determine, you know, how many weeks they give them to abort the children. But, which we know abortion is murder. But this is why this devil Esau, who's the modern day Pharaoh, that's why Planned Parenthood, all these abortion clinics, Eve promoting it, which that one woman, Meg Thee Stallion, she's like on the forefronts of that, and she's a black woman. So it goes to show you, you know, or the Israelite man, starting with Judah, our number one enemy is our woman, especially the black woman. Sad to say, but they the worst out of the bunch, you know. Which I'll go over this again. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get the blue letter on Exodus 1. Let's see this real fast. Not making this long.
Strong's H 8236. Shifra. Shifra.
Yeah, going into those names, how they pronounced. But I want the definition of rigor. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. So cruelty, severity, harshness. So we were serving with harshness. All right.
Strong's H 6326. Puah. Puah.
All right. Yeah, that's it on that. Ultimately, the midwives feared the Lord, and they didn't kill their sons. You know, they chose to fear the Lord rather than to fear the Pharaoh. You know, and the Lord had mercy on them. So the point of the video is, you know, the Lord didn't give these women any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They don't know what they're saying. You know, they say stuff, but they don't think it through. All right, what they say, it don't make sense, and it just overall be stupid. You know, the Israelite man, through his seed, the Israelite man and woman come from Salakia. All right, the boys and the girls both come from the Israelite man. You know, if all the boys were killed at a young age like this, then that will literally cut off the whole nation. Because ultimately, the daughters being saved and the boys being cut off, you know, those daughters, they would take on the seed of another nation and bring forth that nation's children. So, obviously, this woman, this young, I don't even know what to call her. You know, she no wisdom, just point blank. All right. It's like I'm trying to get the sound. Well, the sound won't cut on, but yeah, you brothers know. And who's raising these young boys? The black woman. So it really falls back on them because they're the ones who's in the household raising the boys because, you know, the man is not there, as the scripture says. Rather, there'll be just, you know, deadbeat dads or a father that's trying to see his kid and the black woman keeping him from seeing keep him from seeing the child, which that happens a lot. But ultimately, it's a high percentage that these, you know, so-called black women are the ones raising the children. So, you know, that woman abuser stuff, furthermore, it doesn't make any sense. Which they learn their emotional ways from the woman. So, Lord willing, this video was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto. And she just really running her mouth. Look. And the Lord is going to humble these women. But Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Kakwadash. I'm the brother Tazyar Gabar, prophets in Babylon, Waco, Texas. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Peace, salutations down to the whole elect. I'm going to say shalom.